Elas eram 5 inglesas diferentes com grandes sonhos.
I want to be a pop star.
Procurando fama.
My ambition is obviously to make it really big.
E muita diversão.
It's just mad. As you can imagine, 5 teenage girls let loose into a house.
O mundo as conheceu como as Spice Girls. Assustadas, exibicionistas, animadas, bregas e luxuosas. Na próxima hora vamos seguir essas escandalosas cantoras na jornada noturna de aspirantes a popstar e divas. Se você acha que sabe a verdadeira história, se engana. Você vai conhecer as garotas ambiciosas. As garotas cruéis.
Everyone says, God, you must feel absolutely gutted.
E a garota que foi embora.
I wasn't really happy.
Vamos ver os altos e baixos da meteórica banda e o dia em que o sonho terminou.
I can make anybody understand my departure from the Spice Girls.
Essa é a história de um comportamento excessivo e uma viagem desordenada.
We are doing exactly what we want to do. We're pursuing a dream.
Essa é a história das Spice Girls no We True Hollywood Story. The Spice Girls. Mencione a Inglaterra e você pensa no país que honra suas tradições. Mas em 95, um grupo de garotas barulhentas e audaciosas virou o país de cabeça para baixo. Elas se auto-intitularam The Spice Girls. Com as roupas coloridas e movimentos ousados, as 5 jovens inglesas saíram para dominar a Grã-Bretanha e conquistar o cenário da música mundial. O grupo foi uma ideia de um ambicioso empresário musical, Chris Herbert. Em 94, Herbert notou que o cenário pop inglês estava cheio de bandas de garotos como Take That e It's 17. Ele decidiu que a hora era perfeita para um grupo de meninas.
At the time, I just thought to myself, it's possible to kind of do this with a girl band, make it both sort of sexy and sassy, so that they become role models for young girls. And also, appeal to the opposite sex as well.
O pai de Herbert, Bob, era conhecido na indústria fonográfica. Bob estava procurando um novo projeto. Chris convenceu o pai de que um grupo só de meninas não fracassaria.
I think at the time he wanted to do a boy band, and just like we always do in this industry, we follow a safe formula, and that was working very well. And that was when I kind of just said, let's do this instead. I think this one could work.
Chris não deixou nada nas mãos do destino. O cineasta Neil Davis.
He pasted up a storyboard of what the band would look like 6 months before he did the auditions, just using pop magazines.
We wanted the girls to represent a whole cross-section of teenagers in the country, and to have, different shapes, sizes, heights, hair colouring, characters. The objective was not to have 5 lookalikes.
Em abril de 95, os Herberts colocaram um anúncio no jornal inglês The Stage. Quase 2.000 garotas responderam.
We sort of shortlisted it and then did more sort of induction days and workshops with the final 12 or 13 or whatever it was, and just got to know them and their skills and weaknesses and strength.
A primeira garota a chamar a atenção de Herbert foi Melanie Janine Brown, uma dançarina de 19 anos. Melanie se apresentava em clubes de cavalheiros.
I'm Melanie Brown. I'm 19 years old and I went to performing arts school.
Very fashion conscious, great looking girl, incredible character, and a very good dancer and had good singing ability as well. So she was a good all-round package.
Melanie logo conseguiu a primeira posição da banda. A próxima foi Victoria Caroline Adams, uma morena de 2 metros de altura, de uma família rica de Londres.
I went to dancing college 3 years, left there and I did fashion shows and trade shows and a few musicals and things like that.
As cliché as it sounds, I think you can spot a star when they walk through the door.
2 já escolhidas, faltavam 3. Michelle Stephenson era uma estudante de teatro da Universidade de Londres, quando soube dos testes.
I actually wanted to be an actress at that stage, so that's what I was kind of focusing on. I just kind of fell into it, really. I just went along to the audition because I hadn't been to an open audition before, and I thought it would be a good experience.
A desconfiança de Michelle estava certa. Ela foi ótima no teste. Michelle decidiu trancar a faculdade e se juntar ao grupo. Melanie Jane Chisholm, uma cantora de 20 anos de Liverpool, estava se recuperando de uma doença quando fez o teste. Mesmo com dor de garganta, o talento de Melanie ganhou Herbert.
I went to Performing Arts College and I was originally going to the theatre, but I'd much rather do this.
Faltava uma.
I want to be a pop star.
Por semanas, Gareth Steele Hallowell, uma menina da classe trabalhadora de Watford, England, deu uma canseira em Chris para fazer um teste.
On various occasions, she kind of kept on ringing into the office and really making a pest of herself that she couldn't get to one of the auditions.
I didn't go to the audition because I'd been skiing and I burnt my face. And basically, I don't think I would have got the audition because my vocal technique was not exactly very good then.
A preparação musical de Hallowell não era boa. O currículo dela incluía um trabalho como apresentadora de um programa de jogos na Turquia. Mas o que faltava na experiência de Gary sobrava em ambição.
She gradually persuaded us to come along to one of the workshop sort of days that we were doing, where, you know, we really worked down to our last few.
But then I turned up to the small audition, there was about 12 people, and I think I blagged it a little bit and just was a bit loud and just pretended to be Mariah Carey.
And she walked in the room and, you know, was as in your face and mouthy as ever, and you kind of knew then, this is the one that's kind of missing. I said to her, how old are you? She said, oh, I'm as young or as old as you want me to be. I could be a 12-year-old with big boobs, if you want. And I think then we were like, yeah, she's got some real front, this one.
Hallowell estava dentro. Chris Herbert estava estático. Ele decidiu chamar o grupo de Taut, mas o jovem empresário não tinha ideia de como aspirantes a estrelas poderiam ser. Em 94, o empresário Chris Herbert percebeu um buraco no mercado pop que só poderia ser preenchido por um grupo formado por meninas. Ele testou milhares de garotas e selecionou 5 cantoras que se transformaram nas Spice Girls. Ao longo do tempo, o jovem empresário se tornou intimamente familiar a algo que ele nunca tinha vivido, a prerrogativa feminina. Chris e seu pai Bob foram as mentes criativas por trás da banda, mas o parceiro de Chris, Chick Murphy, forneceu capital inicial.
Chick Murphy, larger-than-life East London character, gold necklace, gold identity bracelet, open neck shirt, gold Rolls Royce.
Murphy insistiu numa coisa.
He didn't want a contract. The contract would tie him down to a relationship. And he wanted to shift them about, move one in, move one out, and keep them on the toes and keep them under pressure, keep them a bit, you know, hungry for it.
Chris e Bob Herbert cederam à exigência do sócio.
I would often argue with Chick about the girl's got to be put under contract. You know, Bob being an accountant, understanding legals, and he was very pro getting this contract sorted out, but Chick was, you know, no, this is the way we do it, and we ended up going with that.
As garotas aceitaram o plano de Chick. Durante os ensaios, cada uma recebia $96 por semana. Em junho de 94, Mel B, Mel C, Michelle, Victoria e Jerry se mudaram para a casa de Chick Murphy, em Maidenhead, a 50 quilômetros de Londres.
The idea was to put them all into one house and let them start bonding and becoming a gang of mates, as well as, you know, just having to work with each other.
A ideia funcionou perfeitamente, na verdade, muito perfeitamente.
It's just mad. As you can imagine, 5 teenage girls let loose into a house. It was teenage hell.
This back is wicked. Can you watch my back?
Desde o primeiro dia, Hallowell se posicionou perante o grupo.
We just kind of went into the room and grabbed beds, really. And it was decided that Jerry would have the single room because she was the oldest.
Jerry também parecia ser mais centrada.
We are doing exactly what we want to do. We're pursuing a dream.
Jerry is a really bossy one. He sort of like tells us what we're doing every day.
I'm so ambitious and I just want to get there, really. That's the whole point of it. That's my ego-fed, I think.
O ego de Jerry combinava com sua determinação de vencer. A professora de canto, Pamp Lammer.
I do remember always Jerry was at the corner in that mirror while the others were having their tea and eating, doing her diaphragm, standing there and doing her movements and opening her mouth and going, ah, and I didn't even have to ask her any of that. It was always Jerry doing it.
A programação do grupo era rigorosa.
We eat, sleep and drink it really. We all live together. Wake up in the morning, go to the studio, rehearse all day, come back from the studio absolutely knackered and go to sleep.
Sometimes you have to just remember what your aim is to get you through it. Sometimes you get a bit down and a bit tired.
A intimidade forçada e a programação dos ensaios não agradavam Michelle Stephenson. Depois de 4 semanas, ela desistiu.
My mum got ill. She got breast cancer, so I wanted to be with her, and obviously that took quite a lot of my time. And then university was coming up, and I just couldn't do everything.
A busca pela substituta de Michelle começou. A professora de canto Pamela Mer sugeriu uma de suas alunas, a loira de olhos azuis, Emma Bunton.
I went to Sylvian Theatre School, and then I did a BTEC Performing Arts at Barnet College, which I passed.
O currículo de Emma também incluía trabalhos como modelo e aparições na TV.
I was so nervous, and I thought, what if they don't like me? But luckily we got on really well, and they liked me, and then chicks took me on.
Nos 4 meses seguintes, as garotas ensaiavam muitas horas as músicas compostas pelos sócios de Herbert, Irving Killis e John Trice. Mel B compôs a coreografia. Em setembro de 94, o grupo estava ansioso para estrear.
I never heard one negative, except only when it wasn't going fast enough for them. And what's happening, you know, we've got our songs, we've got our music, we've got their choreography. What's happening?
I didn't really want to kind of jump the gun and take the quick option and fast track to the record company. I wanted to develop them, to have an act together, a show, for us to get the writing team, production team around it. Probably get sort of like 3/4 of the album written and recorded, and then take it as a package to a record company.
Mas os planos de Herbert não se enquadravam com Hallowell. Jerry queria fazer um show onde pudessem se apresentar para executivos da indústria fonográfica.
I'm quite a motivated, enthusiastic person because, you know, I just feel like time's running out, I've got to get there. And I'm quite hungry for fame.
As outras integrantes do grupo se juntaram à animação de Jerry.
He had to deliver something beyond the kind of pain and boring, you know, the tediousness of rehearsing every day. So he had to deliver a bit of glitz. This was going to be the bit of glitz. If this worked, the girls would love him, he'd get some money, everybody's going to be happy.
Mas conforme o grupo se preparava para o show, as garotas não pareciam felizes.
Mel used to get frustrated with Jerry. Jerry's a bit dizzy, you know. She'd be thinking of a million things, so she wasn't necessarily focused.
We do have really bad arguments, sometimes really bad arguments, where there's things flying and there's swearing, and it can get really, really nasty sometimes.
We've got real extremes of people who don't like to say what they think and people who tell you exactly what they think.
Com poucas semanas antes do show, a banda decidiu que não gostavam do nome Touch. As garotas queriam um nome mais atraente. Jerry teve inspiração no título de uma música que elas gravaram, chamada Sugar and Spice. Hallowell achou que o nome Spice era perfeito, as outras garotas concordaram. O grupo tinha as músicas, as coreografias e o nome. Tudo que elas precisavam era de sorte.
It was all riding on this one showcase.
A seguir, Jerry Hallowell dá seu show.
They talked about it and they said, yeah, Jerry came in to see me. You know, not much clothes on, sticking out her tits, rattling around.
The Spice Girls.
Mama?
The Spice Girls. Em dezembro de 94, a banda de garotas inglesas estava pronta para se apresentar. Durante 6 meses, o grupo ensaiou as coreografias e as músicas. Elas estavam prontas para conquistar o mundo. Mas será que o mundo estava pronto?
I'm going to have a castle with a swimming pool and an island in the middle.
No inverno de 94, mais de 100 executivos de produtoras, compositores e editores musicais foram convidados para o show das garotas no estúdio Nomis.
Hopefully this showcase will bring writers and bring new material our way and we'll have something solid.
As garotas estavam mais que prontas.
Ambition. It's obviously to make it really big with the group.
I think we deserve it. If, you know, if there's a God out there, I think we should make it.
No dia 7 de dezembro, elas subiram ao palco. As longas horas de ensaio finalmente valeram a pena.
I think the buzz was there already from the moment they came on that stage, because they looked brilliant. They started with that energy.
A apresentação foi um sucesso impressionante. As garotas estavam empolgadas. O empresário Chris Herbert também estava radiante, mas um problema não saía de sua cabeça.
You know, I was well aware we didn't have contracts. Probably a bit paranoid. You looked at them on the stage and they belonged up there, and you knew that everyone in that room was thinking it. So, yeah, we were nervous about that.
Herbert tinha razões para se preocupar. No final da apresentação, os executivos da indústria da música começaram a agir.
A number of guys approached Jerry and said, hey, look, I think you could be pretty big. Why don't you come and see me? And that was where the rot set in. That was where, in Jerry's eyes, immediately she thought, right, it's bye-bye Chris. I've seen the promised land. I've seen guys in Armani suits and chauffeur cars. And she thought, go with money.
E por que não? Jerry não tinha vínculos contratuais com Chris ou com o grupo. Hallowell se reuniu com outro grupo de empresários e não foi sutil em sua aproximação.
They talked about it and they said, yeah, Jerry came in to see me, you know, not much clothes on, sticking out her tits, waggling her ass, almost seducing me on the bloody table. I mean, not physically, but just saying, come on, you know, you got to take us.
Os empresários ficaram interessados, mas eles queriam o grupo e não só Hallowell, o que significava que Jerry teria que convencer as suas companheiras a largar Chris Herbert.
She went back and reported to the girls and said, you know, I met these guys, they'll sort out contracts, they'll sort out this, they'll sort out that, they'll get us money, we can make it with them. You know, we've been with Chris a year and we haven't done anything.
Semanas após a apresentação, Chris tomou uma decisão para proteger seu investimento. Finalmente, ele apresentou um contrato às garotas, mas Jerry empacou.
Often, you know, I'd argue with her. She'd kind of say, let's just go and get a song off, you know, can you get around to the publishers, get a song off the shelf, and let's, you know, go and cut a record and go and sign a deal, sort of thing. And it was, and that was never the plan.
Naquele mês, Jerry e Mel B viajaram de férias para as Ilhas Canárias. Jerry tentou convencer Mel B a ficar do seu lado e abandonar Chris. Mel B concordou. Depois das férias, Jerry sondou as meninas novamente.
She was always pushing for it, yeah, and as long as what she was saying, the others agreed with, there was no stopping them. And especially if Mel B would agree with it.
Mas Jerry teve que pôr seus planos em espera. As pressões da carreira em ascensão levaram a cantora à depressão. Essa não foi a primeira vez que Jerry sofreu de uma doença mental. Com 17 anos, ela lutou contra a doença depois de um câncer no seio. E depois, quando o pai morreu. Para piorar as coisas, Hallowell também sofria de bulimia, um distúrbio alimentar.
We weren't aware of it. I mean, no, she was thin, she was skinny. She kept that very, very secret, and the only person who knew was Mel B.
Isso não se manteve em segredo por muito tempo. De acordo com Hallowell, no início de janeiro de 95, a cantora se internou na unidade psiquiátrica do Waterford General Hospital em Londres. Gary encontrou paz e o Prozac, um antidepressivo. Depois de 10 dias, Jerry se recuperou e saiu do departamento de psiquiatria. Hallowell voltou para casa. De acordo com Jerry, ela parou de tomar Prozac depois que voltou para casa. A cantora alegou que a droga acabava com sua criatividade. Em fevereiro, Chris Herbert chamou Jerry e as garotas para fazer um acordo oficial.
These are the girls I want. I'm not going to change it. I've got to keep them.
Mas Jerry preveniu as garotas de que, com o contrato de Herbert, elas não poderiam opinar sobre a música do grupo, o marketing ou as promoções. Hallowell pediu conselho ao editor musical, Mark Fox.
Jerry and the girls took no prisoners, and they saw me as an opportunity to introduce them to a new batch of people that they hadn't seen. Jerry came to me and said, listen, we like what you said. Can you help us find some writers to work with? And can you also suggest some lawyers that we should be speaking to? Because I'm not sure whether our contract is good, bad, or indifferent. And I'm not sure whether Chris and Bob, Chris's dad, will be moving fast enough.
Enquanto isso, Chris preparou uma gravação com Elliot Kennedy, uma compositora famosa que escreveu o sucesso Ever Sing Change para a banda Take That.
Girls were to go up there on the Monday, and we were now on the Friday. The girls were in the studio, and I actually wasn't down there, but an argument took place. And the girls all stormed out the studio. Said, we're not going to do this session until we sorted out these internal problems. And I pretty much put Elliot on hold until I knew what was going on.
A As garotas não queriam contar seus problemas a Herbert e deixaram um bilhete para ele na cozinha que dizia: "Obrigado por tudo que você tem feito. Não podemos aceitar os termos do seu contrato." As 5 partiram. Não tinham para onde ir e só tinham $16. Em maio de 95, Geri Halliwell e suas companheiras se separaram de seu criador, Chris Herbert. As garotas estavam empolgadas. Chris estava arrasado.
Everyone says, "God, you must feel absolutely gutted about this one." You know, kind of like the guy that lost the lottery ticket.
No dia 6 de maio de 95, Geri Halliwell e Melanie Brown viajaram para o nordeste da Inglaterra. Elas tinham a missão de achar o compositor Elliot Kennedy.
They didn't know where the studio was or anything like that, and they just went around local studios asking where Elliot's studio was.
Sunday evening I was working in another studio and the phone went. She said, "Elliot, it's Geri here. I'm part of this girl band that you're working with tomorrow. We need to talk to you."
Halliwell e Brown apareceram na porta do compositor e mostraram o poder das garotas.
Geri was being her best kind of seductive self in trying to convince me to work with them because they were about to fire their manager. "Well, when is it going to happen when you're firing your manager?" And they said, "Tomorrow." Oh God, what are we going to do? You know, I said, "Well, let's just go ahead with it and see what happens."
No dia seguinte, Herbert contactou Kennedy.
I rang up Elliot and I said, "Look, the girls," and I didn't really want to say that there was a problem or anything. I said, "Look, a couple of them come down with flu. They're not going to make the session."
And I said, 2 of them are here. I said, "I'm meeting the other 3 in an hour at the train station."
Elliot's manager came back to me and said, "Look, the girls are up here, and the session is going to go on." I said, "Well, you know, I want it pulled immediately. I've got, you know, some stuff which I've got to sort out with the girls." And Elliot's manager said, "No, you know, the session is underway and it's going to continue that way."
Naquele momento, Chris Herbert soube que seu plano havia acabado.
And from then on, that was the end of our relationship with the girls. I was pretty gutted about it, just because of the amount of time we put in. I was young. I would never sit there beating myself up about, what if.
As meninas nunca olharam para trás. Naquela tarde, Elliot instalou o grupo em sua casa, em Sheffield, Inglaterra.
It was madness. I went through so much toilet paper, which I don't understand what they did with it all. I couldn't stock enough toilet. What do girls do with toilet paper?
As Spice continuaram a ensaiar e compor com Kennedy. Alguns dias depois de se mudarem para a casa de Elliot, o grupo gravou o primeiro single, Love Thing.
It ended up being a promo record for them, and then the second track we wrote after that was Say You'll Be There.
As garotas estavam maravilhadas com os resultados e decidiram que era hora de encontrar uma equipe de empresários. O editor de música Mark Fox deu um passo à frente.
He helped kind of put them in touch with a lot of people as well.
Em junho de 95, Fox conseguiu um encontro entre as garotas e empresários com executivos da Sony, Columbia e EMI. O editor de música Mark Fox.
We used to get changed in the back of my car and get all take the normal clothes off and sort of put the gear on. So, right, okay, we'll bunch your boobs up and do this and lift the skirt up.
I think the pop market is completely dominated by men. So, we're just going to slot right in there.
As meninas não tinham pudor em mostrar o poder feminino.
So everyone wants to know what are the Spice Girls. And then they bowed down and without an appointment just pushed their way into the office. Jumping this guy's desk. So we're the Spice Girls. We're the next big thing in pop. Do you want us or we'll go next door?
They're dancing in front of you. Jerry's got half a kit off in front of you, and Emma's doing the whole thing about being a baby, whatever, and then Noah's outside sort of chatting up, as I said, the secretary, thinking, well, the way for the A&R guy's heart is to make sure that the girls in the office think they're cool as well.
Fox percebeu que elas precisavam de alguém que pudesse organizar a alta energia do grupo. Em junho de 95, ele apresentou o grupo a Simon Fuller, um respeitado empresário da indústria fonográfica. A lista de clientes de Fuller incluía talentos como Annie Lennox.
They needed that kind of manager, someone who was going to be able to take what they had and put it on a world stage, and Simon was perfectly placed for that.
A ex-publicitária das Spice Girls, Nikki Chapman.
When they came in to see Simon, they saw someone with vision who could take what they had and make it 100 times bigger. And they played some music, and it was very, very raw, very rough around the edges, but there was something there.
As integrantes do Spice ficaram impressionadas com a lenda da indústria fonográfica. Mas a dúvida permanecia. Será que essa lenda estava impressionada com as Spice? A seguir, as guerras das Spice.
Jerry wanted to make a lot of the decisions, but you can only make decisions if you know all the facts.
The Spice Girls. The Spice Girls. Em junho de 95, a banda Spice estava pronta para arrasar. O grupo tinha tudo para conseguir qualquer coisa, mas ainda precisava de um empresário e um contrato. Geri Halliwell ficou responsável para cuidar disto.
She was able to kind of wrap guys around her little finger.
Geri Halliwell acreditava que as Spice poderiam decolar sob a orientação de Simon Fuller, um lendário empresário da indústria fonográfica. Por sorte, ele ficou impressionado com as garotas.
I realised I wanted to become a pop star. I would say a real wannabe. I'm the last of the dying breed.
And we want to be on smash hits as well, at top of the pops and things like that.
He saw something that he knew he could work with, and you know, and to make, you know, one of the biggest bands in the world.
Em julho de 95, Fuller assinou um contrato com o grupo. Os termos foram mantidos em sigilo. Fuller imediatamente começou a negociar o grupo com as gravadoras. Não foi uma negociação difícil.
The buzz on the girls got to such a height, especially after everyone knew that they were working with Simon and his writers and producers, that it was fair to say that every major record company was trying to sign them.
Simon decidiu que a grande energia das garotas era perfeita para Virgin Records. O jornalista Rick Sky.
Virgin might have been willing to give them more of a free hand than other companies, and I think that in his negotiations, Fuller would have seen that.
Para Fuller, as negociações não foram só sobre controle.
The thing with Simon is that he's really creating something of his own. In a way, the record company are there just to distribute the albums and the singles, and even perhaps to fund it. And obviously to make money from it.
No dia 13 de julho de 95, as Spice fecharam um contrato com a Virgin Records por um valor não revelado. As garotas rapidamente iniciaram o trabalho do primeiro disco.
They were doing something every single day, whether it be learning to co-write with the producers, whether it be dance lessons. I did media training with them.
Como sempre, Jerry estava no comando de tudo.
Jerry wanted to make a lot of the decisions, but you can only make decisions if you know all the facts. And I think it'd be fair to say that Simon actually made all the really big decisions.
Uma das maiores decisões de Simon foi mudar o nome do grupo.
Simon was concerned that there was a band, I think, from Germany called Spice. So they became Spice Girls because there was a problem contractually with the name.
Em agosto de 95, as Spice Girls viajaram para Los Angeles para conhecer os executivos da Virgin Records dos Estados Unidos.
Virgin wanted the best press, the best TV, the best radio. They wanted the creme de la creme of the music industry to be working on this group. That's how important it was.
Depois de 6 dias em Los Angeles, as Spice Girls voltaram para Londres para gravar o clipe do primeiro single, Wannabe. Em junho de 96, o clipe foi exibido numa rede de televisão popular britânica, The Box. A reação foi surpreendente. O gerente de produção da Box, Sam Skarkubi.
The video was playing constantly. We were playing Spice Girls like, you know, almost once every hour. It was just unreal.
Em poucos meses, o público e a imprensa britânicos estavam sedentos pelas Spice Girls. Em agosto de 96, Peter Lorraine, editor da revista Top of the Pops, entrevistou o grupo e deu a cada integrante um apelido. Melby se transformou em assustada.
I do like my animal pictures. I've got my leopard skin brown underneath.
A mais nova do grupo, Emma Bunton, ganhou o apelido de boneca.
I'd like to be quite comfortable.
Victoria se tornou luxuosa.
I like quite basic clothes. I do like designer clothes. I'm a sucker for that.
Geri Halliwell se transformou em animada.
I just dress how I feel. Take responsibility for getting voted worst dressed person.
E por último, Mel C virou exibicionista.
Supported by name, supported by nature.
O jornalista Andrew Harrison.
You had this thing materialising. They looked like Josie and the Pussycats. They looked like a cartoon. They looked like superheroes. They didn't look like a band. They were a bunch of completely over-the-top women. And they seemed to be on a perpetual big girls' night out.
As Spice Girls tinham o poder feminino e a mensagem era simples.
You were five girls to everybody the same, whether you're, rich, whether you're a postman, you're president, whether you're black, white, gay, straight, to everyone the same, whether you're royalty. That's it.
Em junho de 96, o primeiro single das Spice Girls alcançou as paradas de sucesso.
It was absolutely remarkable, and it just wasn't in the UK. Once we'd had a hit, the rest of Europe and Japan followed, and then the rest of the world.
Um mês depois, o grupo conseguiu sucesso novamente com a música Say You'll Be There. As Spice Girls apareciam ininterruptamente. A seguir, Spice Girls nuas.
Wow, here's Geri Halliwell in some sizzling, snaps.
The Spice Girls. The Spice Girls. No outono de 96, a música Wannabe estava estourada, assim como as 5 integrantes do grupo. O público britânico ansiava por todos os detalhes das vidas das garotas e a imprensa obedeceu. Os tabloides estavam ansiosos para revelar o bom e o mal.
A whole bunch of pictures came out from the sordid past of Geri Halliwell.
2 meses antes do lançamento do primeiro álbum das Spice Girls, Geri Halliwell descobriu as armadilhas do estrelato. Em outubro de 96, o jornal The Sun publicou fotos da cantora nua tiradas quando ela era adolescente. As parceiras de Geri não ficaram surpresas.
Everyone was prepared for it, and they just got on and they gave support to Geri, and it was a united front. It was like, yes, she did do them, we're not going to deny it.
She played it very well. They never had any regrets. That was the thing about the Spice Girls. Everything they did with their head held high.
No dia 26 de dezembro de 96, o grupo lançou o primeiro álbum, Spice. As vendas explodiram, assim como a legião de fãs.
I think it's mad. I don't think it actually sinks in until you read your fan mail, until you go and you see crowds of people screaming at you.
As Spice Girls se tornaram realeza pop. Elas pareciam em casa quando conheceram a família real. O jornalista Mark Kent.
They met Prince Charles, and there's a photograph in here of big lipstick mark on Prince Charles's face.
Com a explosão das vendas do disco, o empresário do grupo, Simon Fuller, fomentou o calor.
He always had vision. It was always seen as a global project. And everything Simon does is big. The sponsorship deals he did, the media coverage, everything he did with those girls was an event.
Em maio de 97, Fuller conduziu um dos maiores contratos da história da música pop. O grupo assinou um contrato multimilionário com a gigante Pepsi-Cola. Nem Hollywood conseguia resistir às Spice Girls. No verão de 97, as garotas começaram a trabalhar no filme Spice World. Era uma visão cômica de um dia na vida das garotas mais famosas da Inglaterra.
Film took 8 to 9 weeks, yeah.
But also, at the same time we were filming the movie, we were also writing the soundtrack, Spice World.
Depois das filmagens, as garotas continuaram aparecendo na mídia e nas gravações. Elas estavam exaustas.
So it's 20 things all happening at once, and the one thing that you really need is to focus on the music. And in a way, as for all of us, then because of the nature of the machine that then becomes the Spice Girls brand.
De acordo com Geri, ela começou a comer e vomitar. Ela pediu a Fuller alguns dias de férias, mas ele negou. Geri se convenceu de que o empresário estava mais preocupado com o dinheiro do que com as garotas.
They suddenly began to think, our career could be very short-lived if all we do is just product placement and things, and that's how we're making our money. We have to control. We don't want to be linked with these products anymore.
Em novembro de 97, na época do MTV Music Awards, Geri e Mel B uniram as forças para tomar o comando.
Geri and Mel B, I think they got the rest of the girls into such a frenzy. They stayed up all night discussing it at MTV. They didn't go to bed, and that they rang their lawyers at 5 in the morning, and by the following morning, Simon had been informed that his services were no longer required. I think they just had enough, and they felt it was time for them to manage themselves.
Ginger finalmente estava no controle.
the last thing that Jerry Halliwell did was take a break. As soon as she got rid of Simon, they worked even harder because they had something to prove.
Halliwell estava determinada a ter sucesso. Em dezembro de 97, o filme Spice World estreou.
They'll have a feel-good factor on it. Hopefully you'll leave that movie smiling, and that's what... absolutely bent over double, laughing.
A crítica não foi exatamente boa, mas era necessário mais do que críticas ruins para rebaixar o grupo. Naquele mês, Victoria anunciou que estava noiva do jogador de futebol David Beckham.
You have to realize that people aren't always going to want to, be interested in you. So your family, you have to make sure is the strongest thing, the most important thing, because they're always there for you.
Como em qualquer família, havia maus momentos. Em março de 98, começaram a circular relatos sobre a divergência entre Jerry e as outras garotas. De acordo com a autobiografia de Jerry, a cantora se cansou da rotina agitada e queria um tempo para se encontrar. Naquela primavera, estava marcada uma entrevista para Jerry com a TV inglesa, ITN News, sobre seu susto com o câncer no seio. Mas suas parceiras concluíram que a entrevista atrapalharia a programação de shows do grupo e cancelaram a entrevista. Aquele foi o estouro final. No dia 27 de maio de 98, estava marcada uma aparição no Lottery Show de Londres. Jerry não participou.
It suddenly started leaking out. Hey, Jerry's not coming out to the car. The show was there, and she's not coming out. Something's happening.
No dia seguinte, o publicitário de Halliwell oficializou a notícia. Ginger estava deixando a banda. A notícia não podia ter vindo numa hora pior. As Spice Girls estavam programadas para começar a primeira turnê americana. O diretor Ian Denner foi contratado para fazer um documentário sobre a turnê.
I was passing news vendors' placards on the street saying the Spice Girls are dead, Jerry has left, it's all over.
Os executivos da Virgin Records ficaram loucos.
I arrived at the offices and said, well, that's it, I guess. Well, it's been nice. And they said, no, what are you talking about? It's all going to be on. If 5 girls weren't touring, 4 girls will.
Em junho de 1998, as 4 garotas restantes iniciaram a turnê americana. Apesar da ausência de Ginger, a banda continuou.
As long as our fans are there and they're as loyal, which they look like they are going to be, or that they are being, then that's all that matters to us.
A seguir, as Spices sobreviventes.
You're alone by yourself and it's like starting over.
The Spice Girls. The Spice Girls. Em 21 meses, as Spice Girls se tornaram ícones do pop mundial, mas na primavera de 98, na época da grande turnê americana do grupo, a banda começou a ter problemas. Jerry Halliwell se desligou do grupo. A partida da diva foi estampada em notícias de capa e causou rumores de que a Spice Mania estava no fim.
Girls as young as 3 years old, and they were distraught, crying, asking for Jerry.
Depois de abandonar as Spice Girls, Jerry Halliwell escreveu seus sentimentos para os fãs.
It's like leaving a marriage. And when you leave a marriage, you say goodbye not just to your partner, you say goodbye to the whole establishment, the friends, the family, everything. So you're alone by yourself, and it's like starting over.
E começar de novo foi exatamente o que as parceiras de Jerry decidiram fazer.
I think as a band we're happier and stronger than we ever have been. Jerry wanted to move on, and she's doing her own thing.
They managed to turn it into a heartbreaking challenge. Our friend has left, but we must pick ourselves up and go on.
2 anos depois da saída de Ginger, as Spice Girls lançaram Forever, o primeiro álbum depois de Spice World. O disco recebeu críticas diferentes, mas vendeu mais de 2 milhões de cópias.
Hopefully we will be together forever, but you never know what's going to happen. But you can never take away from us what we have achieved as a group.
Logo depois, as garotas começaram a se aventurar sozinhas. Melanie Brown casou com o dançarino das Spice Girls, Jimmy Guzzer. 6 meses depois, ela deu à luz a filha Phoenix Shy. 2 anos depois, o casal se divorciou. Mel lançou seu primeiro disco solo em outubro de 99. O álbum recebeu críticas diversificadas. Emma Bunton também começou sua carreira solo. Em abril de 2001, ela lançou seu primeiro álbum, Girl Like Me. A primeira música de Bunton atingiu as paradas de sucesso. Como suas parceiras, Melanie Chilton tentou alcançar as paradas de sucesso com seu álbum solo, Northern Star. O álbum explodiu, vendendo mais de 2,5 milhões de cópias. Mas a imprensa estava interessada em algo mais do que a música de Melanie.
Melanie C is the latest to be attacked for her way. I mean, I know Emma's had it, you know, Mel B, we all have, which is a really sad thing.
The truth of the matter is when I was touring with the Spice Girls, I was underweight. And I've suffered with eating disorders and depression. And, you know, that's been a very visual thing that everyone's been able to see. I just hope, you know, I've become actually more successful since I've put on weight. So that's dispelled the myth that I had to be skinny to be successful.
Em março de 99, Victoria Adams deu uma pausa por causa da gravidez. Ela deu à luz ao filho Brooklyn. No dia 4 de julho de 99, Victoria e o astro do futebol, David Beckham, se casaram. A cerimônia custou mais de $800 mil. Tanto a noiva quanto o noivo usaram coroas.
That was the moment when people just went, my God, she's like Princess Diana.
Mas a princesa do pop, Geri Halliwell, continuou se sobressaindo como a mais ousada das Spice Girls.
She'll always say things. Her last statement was that she believes she's a man trapped in a female body without a male member.
Em 99, Geri tentou uma carreira solo e lançou seu álbum Schizophonic. O disco vendeu mais de 2 milhões de cópias. A estrela também se aventurou no meio político como embaixatriz da boa vontade da ONU.
All I can do is lend my fame. You know, I can bring attention to something, you know, bring a spotlight to it, and that's all. I'm not claiming to be a pool of wisdom on the subjects, but all I know is I care like the rest of us do.
Chris não guarda ressentimentos. Ele e as Spice Girls acertaram suas diferenças por uma quantia em dinheiro não revelada.
I feel proud of what they've done. I feel proud of being involved in it.
Com 9 primeiros lugares e 2 álbuns no topo das paradas, as Spice Girls provaram que o poder feminino pode ir longe.
When I'm a grandmother, I can say, you know what, kids, at least, you know, I was a pop star once.